Peace, blessings, and wholeness, family. It is June 6th, 2025, on the Nevada garlic plot, and the heat is intense. 88 today, and then it's going to be in the 90s for the rest of the week. So, trying to stay on top of watering, and I just weeded all of these beds yesterday. Celery is trying to hang on. I think it's just going to be a matter of keeping the plant alive until after the intense heat passes, but that won't be for a very long time. So, not a very long time, but like 2 months. Some of the cantaloupe plants are doing fairly well in there, and yeah, it's just kind of a waiting game now. It's just going to be a few more weeks. You can see there's a little weed pressure, but nothing crazy. Just these like smaller ones that are just small, but those grew overnight because I basically plucked everything yesterday. Anyways, I know I've said in the past that it's good to just cut them, but with this deep mulch, they're just popping up real easily, and then we're just gonna lay more wood chips on top of this, which I actually started doing right here after I weeded, just laying down a thin layer of mulch to kind of help retain some more moisture and suppress more weeds. Some other cool updates: within the first 4 beds, there's about 25 to 30 California black walnuts that sprouted and are growing. So there was like 5 layers of mulch that they needed to go through, and I feel like they also needed more moisture. But it seems like new ones are popping up each day now, so we might even be into the 35, 40 range by the time that this is all said and done. All of the garlic scapes have officially been harvested, with the exception of a handful maybe that are still in here. I can see one, but besides that, just a waiting game now for the garlic to finish doing its thing. We want to make sure it gets enough moisture for these next 2 to 3 weeks, so it has enough moisture to size up to a good sized bulb of garlic and good sized cloves. So, good sized head of garlic. The game plan for now would be just staying on top of weeds. Here's one that we missed. And then I did layer some wood chips down this bed, and some of the sweet potato slips that I planted are doing fairly well. So maybe want to lean into more sweet potato slips, drought tolerant crops for sure. But I also want to try to get that cold hardy green harvest, even though it's not going to be cold for a while. Might start some broccoli today. It's a flower day. Just got to get the next crop started. There's another scape down here. You can see these squash plants are still hanging on, doing their best, but also might be good to just try to do some direct seeding. Here's those sweet potato slips. Lost it now. Where's that? But also, there's 4 black walnut trees, and I noticed California black walnut. I noticed that these ones, they came up perfect, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and those were the ones that were planted like not in the middle of the garlic, but basically right with the clove that got planted. So I feel like the garlic growing around this actual seed helps retain moisture, and that's why there was a full germination. There was supposed to be, you know, these trees all the way down each row, but it's not East Coast germination out here because we don't have East Coast rain. So I'll definitely focus on winter watering this coming season. But yeah, overall I'm very happy with how everything's looking right now. Potatoes are doing good, really good. That's another crop that we could lean into, fall potatoes, because nature is telling us that they do fairly well. The sweet potato slips are doing well. The cantaloupe is doing well. And we got our first Swiss chard harvest. I know these leaves look kind of beat up, but seems like they're hanging on. And this dwarf curly kale is also hanging on. So Brussels sprouts still looking good. Another black walnut tree. Yeah, so we might be up to the 35, 40 range by the time this is all said and done. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, this garlic over here. So this England France heirloom softneck that I have, it seems to be finishing up a lot sooner than all the other garlics, because garlic's in the onion family, right? They're in the allium family, so when an onion falls over like this, that's when it's telling you that it's ready to harvest. So a few of these soft necks are actually seeming like they're almost ready. So that would be something magical, because if we could grow this out, yeah, these are, I mean, they could go probably like another week, but these cloves are pretty much fully developed. And it's got that nice purple skin. So if I could propagate this out, then I would have a soft neck variety of garlic that would harvest 3 weeks before basically anybody else's garlic. And yeah, nobody definitely has this garlic because it came from France. It's grown in England, brought to France, and then brought to Vermont, and then brought to Reno, Nevada. So pretty cool. So we'll have a nice little nursery stock of trees, and then when all this garlic harvests, we'll have whatever they're gonna be, whether it's fall potatoes, sweet potato slips, broccoli, kale, Swiss chard. I'm just trying to figure out which direction is best to go. But for sure, all of these beds will get a nice thorough mulching, most likely on top of all of the garlic stalks that we're gonna chop off and lay down on the beds like I was explaining in the last video. Yeah, so been keeping up with it, good amount of hard work. What I'm most happy about is that now all the weeds are down, so that's also gonna help the garlic retain more moisture, because the garlic isn't having its moisture taken away from the weeds, and it's also gonna, there's no more energy being directed into the weeds, so the rest of the energy can go in to the garlic, making their full-size heads. And we'll see you on the next update. Peace, blessings, and wholeness. Thank you very much for all of your support, and we'll see you on the next one.